Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to be ranking every Star Wars movie from the worst to the best. So, this is a very controversial topic, as there are 11 Star Wars films that I'm going to be ranking. The 3 prequels, 3 original trilogy movies, 3 sequels, and Rogue One and Solo. Some of them are just absolute trash. Some of them are my favorite movies of all time. So there's a wide variety of films to rank, and if you disagree with mine, that's totally cool. Go ahead and tell me which Star Wars movies you like the best, and rank them for yourself down below in the comments. So yeah, let's get right into it. Coming in at last place is The Last Jedi. Now, I don't think there's anybody who can disagree with this. Maybe you think there's one film that's worse, but The Last Jedi will never be above the bottom 3 in really anybody's ranking. Because it's just a horrible film. It's just awful. The characters in The Force Awakens, they had set up Rey, Finn, and Poe, all as characters that I was interested in and that I thought were good. They ruined every single one of them in The Last Jedi here. And then Luke Skywalker, who is my favorite Star Wars character, they ruined him. They made him this old, grumpy, selfish coward who everyone hated in this movie. The plot is super floppy, has no structure. The whole subplot with the code breaker, I had no care for. They killed off Admiral Akbar off screen. That's unacceptable. So just pretty much a horrible, horrible film. Next is The Rise of Skywalker. Now, people say this is the best sequel, or this is better than a lot of the other movies. It's really not. Everything that was wrong with The Last Jedi is here, but not slightly as bad. J.J. Abrams did his best to kind of try to recover from Rian Johnson's complete disaster that is The Last Jedi. But it was mostly just a farewell to the Star Wars franchise, but we know that's not going to happen. Disney just wants to make more money. So, Palpatine coming back was the worst choice of all time. Why? And then Rey being Palpatine's granddaughter. There's so many other things you could have done. So many better things. Finn, they had a chance to recover from his disastrous character arc in The Last Jedi, but they just kind of left him hanging. Same with Poe. It just made us hate Rey even more. Just not a great film at all. Next, we have Attack of the Clones. Now, this is a lot of people's least favorite Star Wars film, and I can see why. A lot of people, there are also some people that think this is amazing. I don't see why. The acting is just awful and bad and stupid. Ewan McGregor does a great job, but Hayden Christensen, oh my gosh, it's just awful. The writing is atrocious. The horrible green screen is really distracts you. The whole plot in general is not confusing, but just not interesting and kind of boring. There's one good lightsaber fight, and that's pretty much it. Coming in next is Solo. Now, a Han Solo standalone film sounds like a good idea, but I just don't think they did it right at all. I want to see what events led up to A New Hope with Han Solo, and how he became who he is, but his character arc in the original trilogy is he starts as the smuggler who doesn't care about anybody else, and then he becomes a hero. By the end of Solo, he becomes that hero that he is in the original trilogy, but that doesn't make sense at all. Other than that, a lot of the characters, just other than Han, I didn't care about at all. The plot was somewhat boring. I mean, it wasn't the worst they could have done, but it certainly wasn't great. The droid in this movie is absolutely obnoxious and not funny at all. It was good to see Darth Maul, in live action briefly. Again, like the last time we saw that was the Phantom Menace. But other than that, really just kind of a disappointment. Next is the Phantom Menace. Now, a lot of people say this is one of the worst Star Wars films, and I personally think it's not bad. Um, Darth Maul, the lightsaber fight between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan, I think is the best duel in all of Star Wars. A lot of people say it's Anakin versus Obi-Wan, but this is the best in my opinion. I think Qui-Gon's a really nice character. Too bad they killed him off soon, but while he was there, he was great. A lot of the writing is still not great, but not as bad as the other two prequels. They used a little bit less green screen than the other two prequels, but still a lot. Jar Jar Binks really ruined this. If he was not there, this would be several places higher. But a lot of these Senate scenes and just the politics of it all are very boring. But other than that, it's still a really enjoyable film. And then next, we have Revenge of the Sith. Okay, so I know what you're doing right now. You're going down below in the comments to tell me how wrong I am, how Revenge of the Sith is the best movie. It's not. In my opinion, it's a so-so film that can be enjoyable at times, that has some pretty major flaws. Such as, it suffers from a lot of the things that Attack of the Clones had going. Like, the bad acting. Again, Hayden Christensen, people say, oh, he improved so much. I don't think he did. The bad writing. Awful writing and dialogue. The plot is, up until Order 66 and Anakin's turn to the dark side, is just kind of a mess. They kind of touch it up there. Again, with the overuse of green screen. But on the positive side, there are some really nice lightsaber duels. Anakin's turn to the dark side is somewhat good. It is pretty good. Very well done. And then other than that, just a enjoyable film that's super overrated. Next is The Force Awakens. Now, people say the best sequel is Rise of Skywalker. I think it's The Force Awakens. When I first saw this in theaters, when Star Wars returned, I liked it. I was excited to see what they would do with it. I was intrigued with Rey's backstory. Finn was an amazing character, so was Poe. Like, they set it up all very, very well. While it is pretty much A New Hope, but just reskinned. Like, A New Hope, but with new characters. Like, there's a Force-sensitive human being on a desert planet who finds a droid that has valuable information, and then they need to blow up a gigantic space station weapon that has one major weakness. You could not tell whether that was A New Hope or The Force Awakens. They're pretty much the same movie. But other than that, I think since A New Hope is a good movie, you copy it, you'll get something that's pretty good too. But definitely not as good as the next movies that I'm going to say here. Fourth place is Rogue One. This movie is amazing. It's a section of Star Wars that's never been explored. Although no one really asked how they got the plans, everyone just accepted that they maybe just went on an undercover mission to get them, and that's pretty much what happened. But that's not all there is to this movie. The characters, I think, are amazing. This is, like, so separate from the rest of Disney Star Wars. It doesn't feel like a Disney Star Wars movie. It feels like a movie done right. A Star Wars movie done right. So, I really like it. Coming at third place, bringing us into our top 3, is Return of the Jedi. This movie it's one of the original trilogy, so it's gonna be great. All 3 of the original trilogy are masterpieces, but of the 3, I think this one is the least great of the 3 original trilogy movies. But I don't really have that many bad things to say about it. The finale with the space battle and the lightsaber duel between Luke and Vader is amazing. The Luke's temptation to join the Emperor, but then he's resisting. Him bringing Vader back to the light. It's all pretty good. The Jabba's palace, the Jabba's sail barge scene, it was a fun little action sequence, but it's kind of unnecessary. They just want to explain how they got Han back from Carbonite, I guess. But it's kind of just like a prologue or an intro to the movie. That kind of is just to take up time. But the Ewoks, a lot of people hate them and say there's no way they would beat the Stormtroopers. I've never minded them. I think they're pretty cool. But yeah, all in all, a pretty great film. Coming in at second place, just missing first place, is A New Hope, the original Star Wars movie, the one that started it all. And to this day, it holds up great. The plot is one of the best in Star Wars. It has the most defined structure. The acting is amazing. The special effects for 1977 are great. For 1977, this is the best. The lightsaber duel isn't the greatest, but it's the first time we've ever seen people use lightsabers against each other to fight. Like, and the space battle is great, like the trench run with the X-wings, and yeah. So that first place, you all saw this coming, is Empire Strikes Back. There's really not much else to say. This is just the best Star Wars movie. There's like almost nothing negative about this movie. The acting is great, as with all the original trilogy. The plot, this is really where it shines, is the best, in my opinion anyway. The whole subplot with Luke and Yoda on Dagobah, I think is great. The lightsaber duel again the second time we've seen a lightsaber duel. It's pretty good, I think. There's the iconic "I am your father" scene. That's very well done. And it's somewhat anticlimactic, as there's no huge final battle, and Luke ends up losing the lightsaber duel at the end. But I just think you could make an argument to say A New Hope or maybe Return of the Jedi is slightly better, but anything else really stands no chance against Empire Strikes Back. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tell me which Star Wars movies you think are the best in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.